Hello everybody, my name's Paul. I'm part of the Extinction Rebellion Citizens Assembly Working Group, and for Rebellion Fortnight I was going around running assemblies, running sessions, talking to people on the blockades, just getting to engage people and find out a little bit more about what it is that you would need to take this back to your communities and get deliberation going back home. So it's very exciting. We've got a huge influx of volunteers. There's all of you keen to get going, and we really want to get deliberation embedded into the DNA of Extinction Rebellion, but also society as a whole. So what the aim of this kind of resource is to give you the support needed to do that scaling of participatory democracy. So what we're thinking is to actually have lots of entry-level stuff so that you can just pick it up and go. Anybody can start with that. Very simple ABC instructions, and what will happen is that you'll just get going on that, and then you'll learn by doing it, as we know. Some people are a little bit more experienced, and when you've done a few exercises, few sessions, you'll go to kind of level 2, which will require a little bit more preparation, possibly experience and confidence. If you feel confident to go in at those kind of levels, then just go for it, because that's a good indicator. And then we're going to develop this, and some more resources will come forward where more advanced facilitation experience might be required, but that's all attainable with, you know, the intention and application that many of us will be applying here. Okay, so that's just a little introduction. I wanted to say also a little bit about why scaling is going to make such a big difference. So you know that the third demand for Extinction Rebellion is to have a citizens' assembly, and what we're looking for that to be happening at the very top of governance, but that's not going to be sufficient in itself. We need to embed this in the culture, not just at the very top. And we want to get you experienced in doing this, not only facilitating these events, lots of people learning how to do that, but more importantly, lots of people being included and taking part. Rather than just understanding about what a citizens' assembly is, we want to give them an experience of what deliberation feels like. Okay, so there's a Confucius quote there, which I think is very apt in this particular scenario. So one of the main pillars is radical inclusivity, and we really need this because so many people are alienated from politics. We need to enable them to be included, but also feel included. And this is not going to be easy, okay? Reaching out to those people who are seldom heard, they're going to be suspicious. There's several things that we need to do to make that work, but with application, we can look into how to do that. Another key aspect of this whole deliberation process is it gets people talking and actively listening. We don't do enough of that in our culture. And one thing that will provide, once you get people talking, you actually create a people's narrative rather than the mainstream narrative, which quite often is just given to us. And the only way you can do that is get talking, finding out what your neighbour actually thinks. And the third thing is that it's cultivating this inner self-direction rather than expecting a leader to come along and lead the way forward. We want to cultivate this in every single person. And one of the ways that you do that is having these many-to-many conversations, not one-to-many conversations. And this is very common in our culture. You go along to an event, you'll have a speaker, maybe a panel, and the best interaction you're going to get is a Q&A. That's not deliberation. So we want to get these conversations, finding out what everybody's thinking, and then you get a much broader perspective of views. You can understand where people are coming from, and most importantly, people feel included. So stick around, we're going to show you how you can do that, and we'll keep engaged with you, so let us know what's working, what's not working, and together we can make this work.